municipality library has deteriorated and
Welcome to the Northwest Provincial Government Podcast. We inspire and encourage our communities through personally inspiring stories of our leaders in government and game changers in our communities. Enjoy this episode.
a very warm welcome to our viewers across the Northwest Province and beyond as we welcome you to the 11th episode of the Northwest Provincial Government Podcast with me, Keletso Ratlhagane. We are recording live from the newly refurbished Mmabatho Stadium, an iconic venue that has hosted many events, including our very own Mahikeng cultural event. And I'm seated in conversation with the MEC for the Department of Arts, Culture, Sports and Recreation, MEC Tlhapi. Mokhuduthamaga, dumela.
Keletso dumela tla ke tse gape nako e ke dumedise le baagi ba province ya rona e ntle ya Bokone Bophirima. Ke a leboga gore e be ke na le wena fa gompieno.
Kampong ka bo ke simolotse ka re kgabo.
A e nnamele setlhare.
E je boreko. Ke a leboga. MEC, we are seated in conversation mo e le gore ke gone o boelang into the administration as the MEC for this department. Me fela a re boele ko morago re bolelle fela gore wena o goletse kae le gore o godile yang.
Ke a leboga ke jaaka setso ka ile gore ke kgabo. Ke ngwanyana wa ko Moruleng ko le Rome kwa Mositwane. Ke ko ke tsetsweng teng ke goletse ko teng. Ke godisitse ke mosadi mogolo ke kokomma motlokwa ke ena nkgodisitseng go nna mosadi o ke leng ene mo letsatsi la ka jeko mme wa ka o tswa ko Monakato ko Rustenburg e mo Ward 25 ga o ya ke tsoro yutse Monakato ga o tsamaya o ka re ya ko Thabazimbi go na le location le lennyane fela ka mo lefteng ya gago le bitswa Monakato Respirate ke ko mamaka a leng ko teng yaanong ke tswa ko Moruleng mme ka ya gape le ko Monakato.
Wa tsena sekolo kae wa gola yang o le motsanontseng yang ga o gola?
Ne ke tsena sekolo go kgakala gore ke tsene sekolo ko Rapurele High School. Rapurele High School e ko Velgefal mo tseleng ya Thabazimbi. Ga ke fetsa ko Rapurele High School e be ke tswa ke ya ko nna ko Monakato le mama ke batla bophelo na ne go le thatanyana ke re wa itse gore madi ga ayo ka iphataphatela ka izamela ka ke ra ile gore go na le ISET SETA ke tsore wa itse ba thusang government ka dira national certificate sa ka sa IT le bone for a year. Ha ke fetsa e be ke tswa ke dira emerging development le department le University ya Free State. From there ka leka yalo ka tsamaya ka dira diplomacy e be ke khata ga ke a fetsa ka ntlha gore ane ke setse yanong ke tsene ka for dipolotiki na go na le mo di tsamaileng di dira gore ke me ga ise ke fetse diplomacy. I just want to push it again ke dira le University ya ko UJ and then now ke bala le UNISA ke dira public admin and management. Ke busy le bona gona yanong hoping gore ke tlo go fetsa this time around so but I will ha se khale ne ke fetsa go kwala be ke ftileng yotlhe ne ke le mo di exameng ke nagana gore ke tla ka bo 90 bo 80 because at least ne ke kwala selo se le gore ka se dira gone yanong as we speak. Now ke tsona dithuto tsa ka tse ke di dirileng tse then ke dira di short courses tse leng gore ne ke ka ga ya ka motho because you can't be a leader o sa kgone go I develop bila sa I develop.
But then MEC, wa tsena yang mo dipolotiking and actually what influenced you gore o tsere dipolotiki?
Ha ke le ko sekolong ko Rapurele High School ke tsere karolo ke ne ke le o mongwe wa maloko a SRC. So there were many challenges o tla gopola re ke ko motseng. So there were many challenges and re encounter nna ne ke tswa distance ya go tswa because ga o itse Rapurele ga re le mo stadium mo ne ke tswa go tswa ko toropong ya Mahikeng go tla mo ke ne le sekolo sa ka ka maoto. I think it's a gaufi le yona. So it was far for us. And by then batsadi ba rona bontsi ba bone ba ne ba bereka, most of them were domestic workers. And ne re na le challenges tsa gore o tla botsana ko sekolong go na le ma-teacher a sa understanding the background ya ko letswang ko teng, and they will think that le dira ka boma and so on. So be ke itira sebueledi sa bana ba sekolo by then. Then be ke nna le kgatlhego gore gore nka kgona go buelela batho. So ga ke tsana ko Monakato, there was this guy and I'm so disappointed because o ile ko pating e nngwe yana, because nna ke motho a pating wa ke re nka se lobe wena o ka nna loba because o bereka ko Department of Health, but because now I'm a politician, I'm a member of ANC.
Yes.
Then this guy o aban recruiter o tsene ke follow ga bese ke tswa ko sekolong ko Rapurele, a ba re go na le meeting wa ANC Youth League, can you come o tla gore join. Ha ke tsena ka mole ka ba meta ba botlhe ka utlwa gore ai mo nka itšelela mo. So ntse ba discussa go tla discussion tsa bona gore ai nka discussa botoka. Then ba ntlhopa go nna secretary ya branch, ba ntlhopa go nna secretary ya branch ko Monakato. And then that is Scott Tihira ke ene dang recruiter into the politics. Scott Tihira o tswa ko Monakato mare ke fela di politiki, you know, tsama di change kere. Then abaya kwa yang ko teng, but he is the person who recruited me in the politics, and I ka nna le kgatlhego ya go participate in the politics from the ANC Youth League, then ka participate in the ANC Women's League, ultimately ka participate in the ANC, which is the mother board. Then ka tsamantse ke leader di structures tse di farologaneng. I started ko teng ko ANC Youth League. I was the provincial chairperson of the ANC Youth League at some point. So I was leading young people, knowing the challenges young people le gore ba behavior young, but I was leading them, but with passion, because ne ke itse gore ke leader batho ba ba batlang eng. Then I ended up liking the politics, and I'm living the politics. I'm drinking the politics. That's my life. Okay. So I'm used to it. That's why. So kgakala le yona, and then it was not an easy road. Being a woman, and then obo tshwanetse o lead her banna. It was not an easy thing, because go tsama gona le dilonyana tse leng gore di tla go distepa ba tsama ba go bolela go no you are a woman. That thing is still there, even now, even today. So but I had to be strong for myself, and I have joined the ANC voluntarily, and then I will lead the masses the way the ANC want me to lead them. And that's why I'm here today. Even today, I'm still leading them. But what made me to join the politics, it was only on the basis that I wanted to help people. I wanted to be the voice of the voiceless, because many people out there have a. So we are there for them, because except they are voting for us, and they expect us to give them the services, and that's why I joined the ANC.
Now you touched on your political life and your involvement within the ANC Youth League. I want to find out, how do you navigate challenges that you face in various aspects of your life, especially as a leader, especially when you spoke about the challenge of patriarchy, the challenges
as a leader, you need to be firm. You need to tell. You need to be honest. In a nutshell, because if only leader you won't survive. And so on. So now for me, wow, I had to stand up for my own as a woman, firstly. And remember those challenges, I did to file a politics, look at the family, look at the relative in the other. But I stood up and I said, I am a leader, and I'm going to be example, and I'm going to help other women. By the way, I once led Young Women Desk, and we were dealing with these patriarchal issues. And one of the things that we were always advocating was that we as women, we need to support one another. Because sometimes when men, bari challenge, sometimes it's you, Kelly. to say man tsotso snacks ing go na le gore as a woman you must support tsotso lo ena o tsana mo bucketeng ya bona, not saying all men are that, but I think we need to start as women to support one another, love one another, and make sure that ra protectana, because number political life yaka there were even women ba ne ke itagere maybe ke banna ka mo morago, because they were doing things that me o tshotse o imile ngwana 9 months can't do that, but I had to navigate and I stood firm, and I told myself that ke rile ka re ke batla go joina and ke rile ka re ke batla go nna leader, and I'm going to make sure that ke nna leader because o leader ka batho. And one of the things and strong even today is that ke motho o ratang go bereka le batho. I'm a person of collectivism. Ga ke rate go nna in isolation. Ke rata gore if there are challenges, we sit down around the table and we discuss those issues. There are many people ba ne ba ipolela gore we are fighting. No, we are not fighting. We are doing this for the people that we are leading. And today we are in good terms and we can engage and we can advise one another and so on. So I think as a leader, you also need to accept criticism. How can people run away to hotle e batla go dripa yo, and you know very well gore batla go dripa. So I had to gore ke re I have criticize, it means mo ga ka di tshwara sentle. Let me correct the way ke rang dilo ka teng. And I had to sit down le bona ke re okay mo ke foste mo teng ke mo kae. So nna pila ke motho wa go rata gore ke bue le batho if there are issues and discuss those issues and then re tla ka di resolution, and then ga se ba botlha ba ka nnang happy around the table. Obviously sometimes wa batle ba feel gore that resolution ga itlo mo cover and so on, but re bereka re ntse ra go pele o tla bona mo pele mo le gore no this thing is, but as a leader I think you just need to be firm and not to be loved by anyone.
Okay. And then you've described yourself as a leader, but how are you? How loko gai? How setse you know o sa bui le those traditional health practitioners, o sa bui le ba botsweletsi le botaki, o se MEC and not even a member of the legislature at the time.
Ke le mme.
O le mme o ntse
ke godisitswe ke mosadi mogolo ne, and mosadi mogolo na le chiko nkgodisitseng.
Okay.
So sala nna tela bo sta bononyana. There are things that I don't like and a ke di fitlhe. Ha ke le ko tlung ke mme wa ko tlung and ke dira dilo tsa ko tlung ke apaya ke dira everything in my dira, but e ke sa e batleng ke gore bana or family or mama ne ko tlung a tsa advantage ya gore now ke teng eng gore ke mme o bogalenyana bona, to be quite honest with you. Ga ke le ko tlung ke batla dilo tse di firm, ke batla dilo tse di straight, ga ke batle mojiko ke sa itse gore kae, because as a leader o starta ko ntlung gore how disciplined are you. So ke discipline go tswa ko ntlung le nne ke discipline. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but ha ke le ko tlung I become a mother of the house, just like any other woman no le gore ga le kwa gage, you know how we behave. Re bo mme re gona le tse re di batlang, gona le tse leng gore ga re di batle. So ga ke le ko tlung ke mme wa ko tlung, mara ga ke tswela ko ntle now I respect any other person like a leader.
You speak affectionately about Gogo Hodisitseng, but then who are the other people who have had an impact in your life? Ma ile gore re ka re were your role models?
Yeah. My mother. My mother. Whenever I have stress, di politiki di ntshotla di rang ke mme o leng gore ke boela ko go ene, and then ke tlotla le ene gore ke image, and she will always say Khuma o rapele. So my mother ke motho o ratang go rapela, gana modumo ha ka tla mo you won't even say ke mamaka because o didimetse nna ke modumo nyana ba bona, but she is my role model, to be quite honest, and I love her for what she is for me and for my kids. Remember, I'm not always at home. So whenever ke na le di challenges ka bana and so on, ke khona go motlogelisa whatever sa nna setsa, and then she will come running to say ere ke go tlhokomela bana ba ngwanake because ngwanake ga yo re fetsa di bakery le ko di strateng and so on. She will always be there. So my mother, to be quite honest, she is my role model. The second person who is my role model Okay, Moratan Tata, she's an actress. Cindy Dlatu.
Okay.
You know why I love that woman? She's an actress, but she's very strong. If mo sheba character ya gagwe ga mo sheba mo TV ke mme o leng gore o ikemeletse, and then she knows what she wants in life. And I love her the way I link at thing, the way I ran dilo ka teng. Even like her actor, there was a time I actor was next somewhere next I live I guess ke novel or king. But there are many actually. More actor mo teng, and I love her. Cindy that one day ke mo boleletse gore I want to meet with you. I want to have a discussion with you because the way we portray yang ka teng mo setšhabeng, the way you lead other women, the way you link at thing as a woman, I love her. Cindy that. So there's the second woman o e leng gore nka mora. The last person okay moratang thata ke Winnie Mandela.
Okay.
She went through hell, if I can use that word. And if you read the history, the politics, there was a time get o tshwanetse o nne strong, o tshwane le Winnie Mandela tsotso. Ke bua le nna yanong le motho ka mo gare ga ka gore this is how you should approach this political life. And exactly what Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela did. I loved her. Le ga ke bala di story tsa ga gore sala tlogela bana go iragalang ka bana ba gage kere this is how as women we should be living in today's political life, because we twanetse mosadi ole we twanetse, and then men were afraid of her because ona ga ba bolella gore this is what I believe in, and now we are sa dumela mo sona, and I want to become a woman of Madikizela Mandela caliber because of what she portrayed by then. Nakone go se easy. Me and you are beneficiaries of the bloodshed e leng gore e tsamaile in mo dipolitiki, but we are here today. We are benefiting from madi a bona tshulogileng, and then o bogile. So I think that is the last person on ka gore nkare she is my role model. Other than that, there are men that played a role in my political life, either negative or positive, but they made me who I am today, and I'm happy for them. They know. I always tell them that hey, but because I'm here today, and I worked with many men in the ANC, and I'm here today because of them. That's why I said either negative or positive. I am because of the challenges in the politics.
Now, MEC, you're one of the few politicians, I would say few female politicians, Baba Nalindi nickname, which are very well known. Now, I'm asking on behalf of the citizens of the Northwest. So, where does this name come from? Because you are affectionately known as Tsotso.
Yeah. Ebile wa bona ne ke sagane ke tharompotsa ka engwe nickname, it means aba go briefa sentle ka yona. I'm happy ga ba go briefa ka yona.
Let's tell all.
Yeah, so let me tell you story ka Tsotso ke le file ke ene ko kwa ka ne.
Okay.
And ga le tso go khomotso or ko kae o le fela re o Tsotso.
Okay.
Then I could join the ANC. They knew me about that name.
All right.
Tsotso. And then next let's mo ID. Then one day there was a women's event in Freiburg. I was chairing over that women's event. And then the president of the country was addressing that. And then because we did Tsotso, knowing very well gore ko parlamenteng re dira yang akere re bitsana ka di surname, then aba ampitsa Tsotso mo setšhabeng se tletse. Then he said, "Ai Tsotso, ko yense re go itse ka leina la Tsotso, President Matabele. Ko yense re go itse ka leina la Tsotso. Ko pora o tswa mo o tsamaye o tsenya leina le mo ID because it means ko yense ga re itse ga le re ko ga re itse Virginia re itse Tsotso." I then went home first straight after that, but then we kletse ya mo ID. So re boyana le temo ID. So my name ke Galere ko Tsotso e be go tla lela ko England, Virginia. Then my surname Tlhapi.
What are some of the favorite or memorable books that you've read, and why do they come top of mind?
I'm now reading, they call it Why.
Okay.
It's Why Leaders Must Be Leaders. So that book says always as a leader, you must ask why. Don't do anything why. That's why ke tsena fa ke boditse gore why ke sena 100 days e be le mpotsa dipotso. Yeah, that book ke filwe ke my doctor a re kopa ke bale that book ke ona e ke bala now.
Okay.
There is other one ke reketswe ke my daughter, the life of a CEO.
All right.
I'm going to start it next week. If I this one this week and then go start early, the life of a CEO. So those are the two books that I bala and ka di rata no. So why there are so many issues ka mo gare. The reason why ke bala ke gore gona le mo e botsang gore ke bua ka South Africa in particular, to say South Africans ba khona go supporta motho wa kontle mare ba support motho wao with the same products. So that's why I'm reading that book.
Mokhuritamaga ya no o biditswe gape gore o tlo go etella pele lefapha le la arts, culture, sport and recreation. That responsibility, what does it mean to you?
This is one of the department that touches mostly the lives of our people. O tla gopola gore mo gare ga this department re na le young people, re na le bagodi, re na le dingaka tsa setso, re na le almost all sectors. And for me as a person, I think department if you are leading that department, you need to have a good heart, but also commitment. And for me to come back to this department, I'm happy because honestly unfinished businesses that you know I can change after 5 years. Then I said, oh, good shot. It means I must go and push whatever something is pushed before the change I go another department. And I think I'm here to work and to partner mostly with the artists, with the sportsmen and women, so all those sectors, so that we can better the Northwest Province. Because without those people, like I said, in the Department of Health, without those people, like I said, in the Department of Education, so it cut across. And ke department our social welfare as a department. So I'm happy to be back to this department, and I think working together with all these stakeholders, we will make sure that the department becomes most important department in the province. Because every day, I'm sure I will radio, but complain our artists, our sportsmen, support and so on and so on. So I want to work with them and make sure that, because ke bone ba leng gore ba affectega ko grandong re bereke ba botlhe, and then re netefatsa gore province ya rona nna botoka.
You spoke of unfinished business. What are some of the two key programs that you'll be focusing on?
One is a rural development program, which I think we did not do much, Kayona. When I say the rural development program, you know that our province is a rural province. We cannot compare ourselves with a Gauteng. So we need to change how policies are done. So rona re tlo go nna fa gatse because rona ga re Gauteng ga re KZN. How best can we service our people in terms of this policy e leng gore tle be le teng ko national? Then we will sit with the officials and we will make sure that re thusa batho ba rona. Secondly, go na le these events tse di tshwarang in the province, which I think batho ba rona ba nagana gore we are still not with them, and we are with them, but we want to work with them to be the most event organizers. Tomorrow, for now we do have, I know we've got 3 or 2, but we want to build more of them. And I think nako ke sentse ke le ka 2019 ke le mo, we were trying to do that, so that whenever ha motho a tlile mo a transfer skills se ko bathong ba rona. Because as department, you know, sentse re sokola ka issue ya ba ba bitsang batho ba ba irang ko morago ba connectang dilo tse tsa mefuta, the production teams, yes. We still suffering ka yona, and we want to see our black people doing that production. And I think those are the most 2 issues that I want to push them, working together with the officials. But then mo pelong ya ka thata is rural development, because if o lebella batho ba botla ba go Gauteng ba ga ba botsa background ya bona gore ba tswa ko kae they will tell you re tswa ko Northwest ko Motlhabe re tswa ko Northwest ko Magong re tswa ko kae for us as department is to make sure that we partner with whoever batlang gore thusa gore nne le even the grant tse di so ke ile ko di rural areas tsa rona.
Now, MEC, we mentioned that today, interview Rona, we are recording it live from the newly refurbished Mabatho Stadium. And I must congratulate your department for the work that it has put in terms of infrastructure development. Now, how important is it as a department to invest in infrastructure development? Stadium centers which are scattered across the province.
These infrastructure facilities, they need to develop, like I said, they need to develop our people. They need to utilize it. And I will request maybe at the end of this session that they must also take care of this. Because most of our infrastructure, we build them, but so for the department to build such a huge, nice, as you can see, infrastructure, it means a lot to us. And we think that it international, not even national, but international, to say, Mutu ole, onaloko mabana. You will know that bo KB Mutilenyani, bo Caspanyo Vest, you know them. Basimuluzeko mabana. Those people, I once had an engagement with them to say, can you come back and plow back to our province? Because let's say Linsoneka that center. But because I will also try and pursue that so that they can also come and plow back. And Casper must be able to say, now I want to plow back not only in Maikeng but across the province so that these centers
Now, MEC, let's look at the challenge that we have, which is corruption. And it's a challenge that is actually plaguing many aspects of our society. What do you think about corruption and what do you think can be done to counter it?
Look, corruption is a two-way traffic. People will think that politicians are corrupt or administration are corrupt. But I think one of the things that we must start doing is the awareness to our people. And I once had a discussion with AG about this to say sometimes Rbiza corruption is a corruption. So we also need to teach our community about that. But corruption, we need to be committed to our work. But secondly, we need to be trustworthy. It's just that how we trust. And then but you will never know. But what we must do, we need to work together. All of us, not only police, we need to work together and to say, this is wrong, this is right.
Yes.
But in most of the time, when you listen to people about corruption, they will refer to issue niki buaka yona. Ya gore reka di o tsere sa tshwana go di reka ka madi a re sa tshwana go a reka. Then they call it a corruption because I itla ko bathong itla ka le leng gore Department of Arts and Culture I overspendile ka ing. So those are the issues. But now I think police alone I ba ka se khone ntho ya corruption. But we need to make sure that our justice system leon is fair and honest. And all of us are complaining about the justice system. Because how well no so we need to start there. How best can we improve our justice system so that we can fight corruption?
Okay. Now, MEC, the 7th administration within the province is rolling out the Service Delivery Accelerated Program, Tuntalerol, where your department's involvement is to hand out sports gear at various activities. Please explain this approach for our viewers.
You'll know that the Tuntalerol is a program that was started by the 6th administration. Now, this one is a reloaded one. But what we are doing, because there were complaints about how we issue these sporting attires. There were complaints in a sense that the criteria that you are using, sometimes you will find that you lefa motho gabedi. So we have tried to engage with ward councillors, and I think this is something that we will also try to extend it to even the district, extend it to our ward committees, because councillors alone, I think they won't, remember they are human beings, so they won't see each and every one around. But what we are doing when we go to Tunzalerole, we look at the need, and then we also look at how many teams do we have in that area that we are in, and then how many teams do they need these attires. That's where we start. But we are working with, remember now we are from the province, so we think that because of the district development model, we think that the councillors, the district, the municipalities, and so on, they can work with us so that they can identify. Then this year, another area ya Motlhabe ba pile le Magong re mo fa gape. So the criteria has changed. So we will engage with the ward councillors, because by a week before, our officials by a week before, just to check gore di needs tsa ko ke eng le gore go iragalang. So we will then incorporate that rural development program mo go yona to say in our APP this is what we have, and then how best can we assist that area go go yona, so that is ka tlhole nna gore ka re fana ka di attire mo bathong ba ile gore ra ba itse. But we are going to work with the relevant stakeholders ba ke buileng ka bona.
Still on Tunzalerole, how would you urge the public to actually support this program to ensure its success and impact?
I will urge that our communities must support the Tunzalerole Reloaded, because this is a direct service delivery to our communities. And imonati, because when there are issues, we address them on the spot. So when we are in your area, make sure that you attend those public meetings. Now, because imonati, I know the Reloaded one, because kuna the questions, kuna the clarities that you might need. Now, rebulela le batho gore ba boze. Motho khona gore nantlu ya ka irile yana le yana sala ba sampha skiing. On the spot, you are able to say, Department of Women Settlement, go and intervene now. So I will ask that they must attend these Tunzalerole sessions. They are of importance, and I think di tla khona go ba thusa thata, because ha ba satle a re fitile kwa gare ya go gongwe e be ile gore ba na le di needs ba tshwana gore ba tle gape ba ye go di officing and so on. So ke nagana gore Tunzalerole go isa go bathong e better than batho ba ye go di officing, because ra ba latella. We even do door to doors. Raya ro sheba gore what are the challenges, what is happening. After that, meroko ro wetsa mpakela go na le community engagement, and this is where we need our communities to come and help us, because le bona ntse ba re botsa dipotso ra khona go bulega gore re montse re sa di tshwara pila, mara because meole wa bua yana le yana. So nna ke kopa gore batho ba rona baagi ba rona ba province ba tse Tunzalerole very serious. Ke di services tse leng gore di ba latela ko ba leng ko teng, ga ba tlhoke go namela dikoloi ba ile batla di services ra ikisa go bona. So they must attend these sessions so that ba khone go kry services on the spot.
Your department is busy rolling out your preparations for Mahikeng, as we expect yet another installment of the cultural festival. How are those preparations going, and what can music lovers and entrepreneurs particularly expect?
Yeah, I had a meeting with executive last week, and they briefed me that Mahikeng is on from the 5th of December to the 8th, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. From 5 to the 8th, there will be a yeah, there will be a Mahikeng cultural, and I think our SMME must come forward, because this is where December pela. December, they must come and sell what they have, and I have also engaged the HOD to say they must open up to our local SMMEs, so that they can at least earn something from this cultural. It's got a fella, but I'm happy that Bar is working one am Northwest. Ke motho nyano mo ke ratang go botsa gore a la re selo se le se dirang se se ka re se thata gore bana ba Northwest ba na sona. So I'm always biased to the Northwest people. So what I can tell you go gore maike ba re a diragala ka di date tse ke go fileng tsona. So I'm happy that our SMMEs will apply. Please. Our SMMEs must apply so that they can at least still earn something for this. Paske ba tla go gonne ba re MEC ke batla go rekisa hela Setswana. Remember go na le melao le melawana kere. So they must also apply. I think ke tla go le busy mo maikeng. And I think even our guest houses they will be full and maybe such a full no yana for that date. So I think the economy of this province will be much better ka January. So I'm hoping gore go tla na monate mo Northwest. Our people will enjoy that cultural event. Yeah, that's what I can tell you because I get moncha no go ne ba mbrifa ka maike maloba.
But then what about the Taung cultural calabash? What can residents, particularly those in the Dr. Ruth Party district, expect?
The Taung calabash, I'm going to meet with the board later today around 4:00. They still need to give me a briefing on that, or rather a progress on Taung calabash. So I can't give the details now because this is my first meeting with them later today in the evening. I can at least maybe request the communication to give me a slot somewhere so that I can tell the people about the Taung calabash. So I know that there is a Taung calabash that should happen or that should have happened in September. So that's why, because Kitlagadi one is October, so I have requested the meeting with them later today so that they can brief me about the Taung calabash.
Now, MEC, we're having this conversation at the backdrop of the Ballon d'Or Awards, which we hosted last night in Paris. And we had one of our very own, Ronwen Williams, being one of those nominees for that coveted title. He did not win, but we are still proud of him. Now, what support is the department giving for local sports people within the province?
Normally when our local artists or local sportsmen are traveling from the province, we cater for everything, starting from accommodation up until their food, their flights, and everything. So those are the support that we give. But I think this year we will have to improve partnering with other private partners so that we can. I said at the start that we cannot compare ourselves with other provinces that are better than us. But I think we need to do more for them. We've been supporting them with those accommodation and all those things. But I think after that, we also need to do something for them. So that ba win and then ba robetse ko di hoteleng tse di nice and so on and so and then after that what happens? Are we supporting them further or what? So we still need to engage on that so that after ba mogela ko di airport and so on, we must also go back and say let's get because we want them to come back and plow back to our youngsters ba leng gore ba lebeletse mo go bona gore ke batla go tshwana le Ezekiel Sepeng in future ke batla go tshwana le ma. So we still need to and we are going to do that. We are going to support them further, but for now we are giving them everything tse leng gore di amana le traveling tsa bona.
Okay. MEC, you did mention that you're fairly new within the portfolio, but ke eng se ile gore o ka rata gore o se achieve so that when you look back o tla re yeah, I really did work hard as a leader?
Wow. One, ke batla go bona our infrastructure facilities tsa province like this one di bereka and di bereka sentle to give our community a better services. That's number one. Number two, ke elene ke bua ka yone ya rural development program. You see that program? Ke batla go e bona ile gore ha ke tswa after 5 years, it speaks volume. And in ali dinamanyana ka mogare ga yona, our people have benefited from it. And I think that program e tla re thusa le gore that support on tsu bua ka yona. E tla khona le gore our own locals ba tla bona le gore the department is there for us, and then at least they can help us. So that those are the things tse leng gore ke nagana gore as the MEC I want to see them happening. Number 3, ke batla go bona all our district di na le an annual events for economic spin-off. So we are working on that so that each and every district in the Northwest, it's only mahika or taung Kalabasha. I think Bojanala must stand up, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda must stand up, so that busy man Northwest, we can be seen as the Sun City people only in the Northwest. But to hoba buhaba go botsoro tswa kae ha o le ko ntle kwa go ba rare ko maikeng or ko Rustenburg or kae ha ba tlhaloga tsontso ba re ke ra kwa province ya Sun City. So we want to change that. I also want to see our heritage sites working for our people, so that di ka khona gore le tsona di re tseyetse madi, because we've got so many heritage sites in the Northwest tse le gore ke feel gore we are not doing justice for them. Your Tawu Skull, Renale, Bo, Kidintiman, Bo, and especially in Dr. RSM. Nobody knows about that. In Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, there's a rock, people do not know that. So those are the things at least and then our heritage site in one of the best heritage site. I think no site Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. Now I'm telling you, we do have those things more Northwest. In the Northwest.
And as a leader of a department, ki custodian ya culture within the province, ke ntse se tlo zidira go tsosolosa le go netefatsa gore re ipela ka setso sa rona le seo re ipele ka go rona re bomang.
Re na le programa e re bitsa Motswana Ikitse.
Okay.
Programa eo ke sentse ke batla go tlotla le bona ke bona gore sentse le teng nna ne ke sentse ga nne ke le teng before ke tsamaya ke ne ke dirile programe gore re tlotle le batho ba rona ga nne ke re Motswana ne ke sa re Motswana in that sense ke ra gore motho o montsho because re na le Maxhosa ke re mo re na le merafe e farologaneng in the Northwest province, although is a Tswana speaking province, but we also have these other languages in our province. So ke programe le gore ke rata gore le one re support in the thing so that re ka khona go, but there are other programs in the department tse leng gore di bua ka our own culture. We are also partnering le other, we do have around the province the cultural centers.
Okay.
Those cultural centers, I will start now with that program. All of them across the province, because ke ko ba ithutang borona ko teng ba tlotlang ka rona ba buang go tse dintsi ka rona tse di buang ka rona as the Northwest province, those cultural centers. So ke tsele gore ntse re supporta, but you will continue supporting them, because I think there's a structure sa tsona those centers. So we do have those centers tsele gore they speak about us as the Northwest province.
I'm intrigued and I want to know how go gola MEC o le tsotso o na golela gone kwa Bojanala. Did you ever think that you would be who you are and what you are right now? I know ipona ole a political leader and a person that is leading a very huge department that has a very huge impact in the province.
To be quite honest, I ke gola nne ke batla go ikela ko ne ke ikela ko teng.
Which is where? I'm interested.
Wow. Wow. Ke fela gore batsadi ba tlhokile madi. But nna ne ke batlile go nna nesa ke gola. E be go pala letseno le seo, you know batsadi ba rona ba tswa ko kae. But has ne ke joina dipolotiki, I then said I am going to be a leader. And ka ipolella gore I'm going to lead the society, and ke tlo go se leader ka maitseo, and here I am today. A ke sheba go morago ka yeah, ba ne ke gola le bone, by the way, bana le go botsa gore how kanti ko ena. One day I was in a meeting, a formal meeting, and this girl o ne ke gola le ene a batla a ba nkgoa fela nkgoa ka leina, then batho ba re ma motho ke emisa yo ne ke sa itse motho ne ke gola le ene. So wa bona gore nako nngwe ga o itse modimo tla go ba mo kae. So God decided to put me here, and I had to respect that gore modimo o mpatla mo ke le mo teng, and I respect even the people ba ileng gore ke a ba leader.
Yaanong wa re into that young woman o golang ko monakata gone ko o goletse ko teng ko o ile gore le ene o go lebile gore yaanong o ka mo rotloetsa gore le ene they should walk a mile in the shoes or even walk the road that you've traveled kampo e mebitlo e batla ba pelo e thata
e mebitla o e beile sentle e mebitla tsela e batla o le pelo e thata, but gape e batla o na le pelo ya batho.
Okay.
You can't lead them if you don't love them. So what I can say to young women ba ileng gore ba batla go fitla mo re le mo teng ke gore ba tshentse ba nne wow ga ke batla gore sta bona o itse mara ke batla go bara ke re ba tshentse ba itsetse pele, and then ba ipolelle gore I'm going to lead. Ba se ke ba nna matepe ka ke dirise lefoko la Setswana, ba se ke ba nna matepe, ba ipolelle gore if ba batla go fitla mo ke leng mo teng mo gore there's a lot of work. A o fitli fela mo wa bereka go fitla mo ke leng mo teng mo I've worked. That's why I led from the ANC Youth League up until to the African National Congress.
Yes.
And it was because ne ke ipoleletse gore I am going to lead this country one day. One day ke tlabe ke le kwa ko national ke gopola gore ke ile ka nna ko province. You need to tell yourself gore I am going to be a leader, and telling yourself your conduct also must tell something, because you leader a se motho mo lo mongwe ka leader o kgona bona ba le ga ba bua ba phatlalla. So how leader wa ipopa o tlhompa le ba around you, because if o sa ba respect the same people ba tsentseng o ba leader tomorrow o ba ipolela gore how ba respect, they will show you flames. So there are many challenges, like I said, how o ntse o gola o batla gore o nne leader, but you need to tell yourself gore ga gona challenge e tlo tlang ka se ka itagela ha e tla ke tlo go itagela as a leader, and that's why I'm here today. But how batla go leader, you just need to tell yourself gore I'm going to be committed, I'm going to love my people, and I'm going to make sure gore ga ke ba leader ke na le bona collectively, because o leader mang o sa bereke le bona. So mocha o batlang go leader e le mmeko a tsentsa itse gore ka mo go thata ka mo tsela e mebitla thata se fela se sa tsela mebitla ga se maka ke nnete, but o ka fitla wa feta mebitla go sala go tshwanna wa nna leader e siameng ka moso.
A very enjoyable and insightful conversation we're having with MEC Galerekwe Tlhapi. Ke rata la tsotsole ka re ke tla ba palele la tsotso. MEC, but now we're moving on to the second segment of our conversation, where we have invited members of the public, MEC, gore ba re fe dipotso tse ba ka rata go go botsa tsone. Me rona re tla di botsa on their behalf, and you will respond to that. Ke mo ya no ke invite a member of our production team to hand me over those questions tse le gore we'll post to you gore MEC a responde.
Okay.
And our first question, which was submitted on our Facebook page, is submitted again. How cool more? Are, my question is based on the NDP 2030, concentrating on the sports to have 60% of the population to be in sports, but with the lack of support happening. I'm just checking if this is still achievable. Let me rephrase that. He wants to check whether the Vision 2030, which says that 60% of the population should be represented in sports. He says he views that there's a lack of support from government. And do you think that this will be achievable?
Thank you, Mohau. I think this will be achievable. I have already indicated that our province is rural. Mm-hmm. And what we will do as department is that we will look into the policy that speaks to 2030, and we know about it anyway. And then what we will do, we will then go to the rural development program that I spoke about and make sure that we work with our people. So it is indeed achievable, and we'll make sure. I know there are challenges in sports. there are issues of affiliation, which I think I will make sure that I also meet with the board. So that we can, because many of our people in the Northwest Province, they don't even know where to affiliate, how to affiliate, and we will help them. We will make sure that we work with that with the board, and we do the awareness. Because in most cases, I understand what he's saying. In most cases, someone will stay there and train our young people, and then department support, they will say to him, go and check the affiliate ko kae. So I know gore ka 2019 I had this problem. Ke mmotsa gore affiliate ko kae, no nna ga ke itse gore go affiliate ko kae. I then said to boto ya rona ya sports gore mara batho ba rona ba itse ka dio tsa lona tsa di affiliation. Di bua big English and our people do not even understand gore di ko kae. So what we will do and help those sports people is that I will call some sort of a session with them, so that batho ba rona ba kgone go tlhaloganya gore ga le ko Kenneth County ra le ko Bojanala ra le ko kae ko office efeng a tshentsa ya ko na ile affiliate ko teng, because normally we don't fund any other person, because a ke motho tla batla fela re batla funding o na le team ya ngeng, although as na yon, because mo lo beng batho ne ba ja tšhelete ya bana ba tle batla ba re ra itse gore mama na fundile. So we want to avoid that. That's why we are saying they must affiliate. But I know we will just correct it so that by where can they affiliate.
Okay. We have a question from Javaro van Rooyen submitted via our Facebook page and relates to a project of a library in Utlwanang, Lekwatemane municipality. He says, the building of Utlwanang Lekwatemane municipality library has deteriorated and it has never been completed. He says there was even a murder which took place there at the building and other criminal activities. He says, how is leadership going to hold itself accountable for the wasteful and fruitless expenditure of government funds related to this building, which was never completed?
Okay. It's in Lekwatemane, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think for that, for me as the MEC, is just to go there and see what is happening, and then investigate further, and I'll make sure that there are consequences for that.
Okay.
I will just go to Lekwatemane, they will give me a report, and then I will pay that building a visit.
Okay. Uncle Des Karabo Putiahaye on our Facebook page writes, Mabana centers, particularly the one in Taung, is currently decaying. How are you going to review these centers and bring them back to their glory? Or is there at least a plan to do so? Because once it's up and running, it can address many challenges and take kids off the streets and reintroduce them to activities such as arts, sports, and culture, etc. And he says that these buildings can actually nourish and build talent in our communities. Furthermore, also please, MEC, appoint the right people at these centers, particularly in leadership roles.
Okay, that one is an instruction. I will indeed follow that instruction, but I think I will have a discussion with the minister about those centers or our Mabana across the province. But because next question, are ke appoint batho ba right?
Yes.
And then ke o bona gore Mabana Taung what is happening.
Okay. Now we have a question from Onkarabile Ranzie. It was also submitted via our Facebook page. He says, Renale Football Club in our areas, re kopa thuso bana ba nyalela because of diritibatsi. Dijan naga ya rona biggie, please. I'm reading it as it's written. Re kopa thuso hleng, please, anything that you can to donate from us. But he did not write from which area he writes from.
Maybe we can gape ko Facebook page so that we can assist, because Habua area.
Okay. Raise Buitikong, also submitted via Facebook. He writes, why do we always have to go to Gauteng? If you want to become an actor, a soccer player, especially becoming a coach or referee. Since I was born, I've never seen SAFA courses brought to the people, especially here in Rustenburg. And to me, this is done by those in charge of these departments. Wherever you listen to Amapiano, the song is in Zulu. This clearly shows that we don't have recording labels in Rustenburg and Northwest as a whole. Sports which are found at Olympics are also not found anywhere in public schools. And why is this?
No, thank you, Buitokong, right?
Yes.
I think we will improve, and then we will see how best we can assist our people. But issue ya raising ya gore our artists, our sportsmen ba ya ko Gauteng is the same issue that I've raised. That I said we will have to improve on that. We are planning to build a theater in Rustenburg. I was planning, by the way, in 2019, and the Department of Arts and Culture nationally have already agreed by then. Even the municipality of Rustenburg has given us a land. I will just follow up on what happened after I left, because I know there was a plan to build that theater so that it can accommodate all those people ba neng ba bua ka bone. And I agree gore re tsantse re limite re batho ba rena ba tlhole go ya ko Gauteng thata, and this is what I exactly said ha ke starta gore re tshwanela ke gore ne proud ka province ya rona.
Well, MEC Lokshan Mutsabi writes that we have diverse culture, especially us who are living in rural areas where arts and culture is our daily bread. Please, MEC, do something, because young people are using substances because there's no recreation centers, especially in Ratlo local municipality.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Kwa Ratlo, as a question, ke le ke khanya gore tsentse re lebelle gore re age di recreational centers. We do have recreational centers. I will just look into issue ya Ratlo, where do they perform their issues.
MEC Tshepo Mukono writes on our Facebook page, the Trupa in Moretele are not getting a lot of support like Mahika Mahikeng. So as the reintroduction of breast show in Madibeng, what is your plan on this activity? So 2 activities, the Trupa in Moretele and breast show in Madibeng.
I think what the Trupa knows how he must apply. We once used the troopers in Moretele. We normally use them, by the way, hardly around Moretele. So I will request that he must submit his or her business case to the district office so that they can help them. He knows how to do it. And then if they don't know, there are district offices across the province. They can go there and present their business cases.
Okay. The final question asks, and it's from Leboga Mosweu, also submitted via our Facebook page. What is the province, in brackets department, doing to ensure intergenerational Setswana indigenous exchange?
Thank you. In this one, we normally exchange with Botswana, and I think there was a program that we were partnering with. I don't remember the name of that group, but we normally work with neighboring countries like Botswana. They are Tswana speaking people, but we do have a program of how do we exchange our programs. I will just request the person to go to the district, and then I think she or he will, because I don't know whether it's a guy or a woman, she or he will get answers from our district offices.
Okay. Well, MEC, this brings us to the end of a questions and answers session for the MEC from the public. But for those that want to engage further with you, how do people engage with you?
Ke phela ke lwa le ba office ya ka, ga ke na di appointment. My office is here, Mo Mahikeng, but in all the district, if ba batla go engage alena, they can call my office, and then they can arrange. I can even go and drive wherever they are. Ke fela ga nka ba fa di contact tsa ka, ga ke le go robala, because the artist a ke batho ba itse ba lora, so everything is possible with them. But what I can tell you go in all our district, there are contacts tsa office ka, less gore ke ba fa di contact tsa office or tsaka, but they can get us anywhere. More province in I know in Bojanala there are 3 offices, in Dr. KK, in RSM, and so on. So bakera ko teng ha ba batla di contact, they can come to Mafikeng, mo officing ya rona mo head office. Ba tsana fela mo security mo le ba re ba kopa go bona MEC, they will get me.
And is the MEC on any social media?
Yep. but not Twitter.
Not Twitter.
Only Facebook.
Only Facebook. Well, le ikutlwetse ke mo le tla kopanang le MEC ga le rekwe tsotso tlhapi. MEC, thank you so much for making time to be in conversation with us.
Thank you. Ke a leboga le baagi ba rona ba Bokone Bophirima. Let's enjoy Maike. Thank you.
And that brings us to yet another episode, the end of yet another episode of the Northwest Provincial Government Podcast. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms. We are there. We want to have conversations with you and also get reviews on all the discussions we've had. Until next time, ciao.